Now, we trust doctors with our lives, but when they get it wrong, the consequences can be grave. These families say they've been let down by critical mistakes.
My child didn't have a voice. I had to fight for her to get the correct medical treatment needed.
It's become a nightmare.
Medical mistakes with deadly consequences.
I'm on death row because he failed his duty.
I was going to lose my mum. That I wouldn't see her again.
Every day we put our faith in the hands of health professionals. But can you always trust the diagnosis they've given you?
I know something is not right with my child.
Tonight we investigate the problem of misdiagnosis.
There are clear examples where the system has failed.
We just bought a house. We just found out we were having another baby.
But Monica and Dean's dreams for the future were about to be shattered.
I had a haircut and noticed a small freckle behind my left ear.
Dean noticed it had increased in size, so he rushed to the doctors.
He just looked at it and just went, no, all good.
4 months later, this dad says he felt a tingling sensation behind his ear. Monica urged him to get a second opinion. Another doctor did a test and broke the heartbreaking news. The correct diagnosis, aggressive melanoma. Dean's prognosis, terminal.
We have blind faith that they're going to pick things up and that they're going to make us better.
Little Vivian had been sick for 8 days with cold-like symptoms when she stopped eating and drinking. On doctor's advice, Mum Amanda Davies took the 18-month-old to hospital, where she was told Vivian had a mild ear infection and was just dehydrated.
And he said, well, unfortunately, she's sort of not sick enough to be at the hospital.
But Amanda knew there was something more sinister going on. She fought for her baby to stay in emergency time and time again until tests were done.
Vivian had influenza A. She had a urinary tract infection, a heart murmur from the influenza A, and also a severe ear infection as well.
What would have happened if you had have gone home?
Something could have, potentially horrifically been fatal if we'd gone home.
In New South Wales alone, the government's insurance body iCare paid out more than $37 million in 2016 to 2017 to patients who suffered harm caused by mistakes made by doctors. Gerard Hayes is the state's Health Services Union Secretary.
The stress levels on all workers in hospitals is very high, and when you have that pressure on you, then time pressures on you, then community expectations, there becomes a tipping point. And I think at the moment we're seeing a health system under stress.
He told me twice that she was fine, that there was nothing medically wrong with her, and clearly that was not the case.
Tabitha Simpson is angry. She's been robbed of her trust in our healthcare system and almost of her mum as well.
So to say that I was worried is an understatement. I couldn't live without my mum.
It all started when Tabitha took 45-year-old Danielle to hospital with a boil. She took a turn for the worse and became unable to hold a conversation or even keep her head up.
I asked the doctor what was going on and he said medically everything is fine.
Danielle was anything but fine.
She has necrotizing fasciitis, which is this flesh-eating disease. So it just, from a boil, went insane.
People would find it surprising to hear about the cases of misdiagnosis and delayed diagnosis in our system.
Morris Blackburn medical negligence lawyer Demetra Dubrow.
We don't expect general practitioners to know everything about every medical condition, but we do expect them to recognise the need for further testing.
Dean has launched a court case against his doctor. A win could mean financial security for his family, who he has limited time with.
There's not a minute that goes by that, I'm not thinking about the position I'm in.
Our results are amongst the best in the world, but because diagnosis is difficult, our ability to elicit clinical signs and tests, be they blood tests or scans, it can be wrong.
Dr Gino Pecoraro says in Queensland they have Ryan's Rule, legislation that allows families or carers to escalate their concerns if they feel their loved one's condition is getting worse. It's been invoked more than 3,000 times in the past 6 years.
I see no reason why it can't be rolled out elsewhere around the country.
I just want other mums out there, and dads of course, to know that if you think there is something wrong with your child and you're not getting the answers that you feel, to stand up, and it's okay.
Absolutely. If you're ever in doubt about a diagnosis, remember you can always seek a second opinion. And if you've ever been misdiagnosed or had an issue with your medical treatment, we'd like to hear from you. Our email address is on your screen now.